Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man season one. And they dropped three episodes three, four, and five. So that's episodes three, which is Secret Identity Crisis, episode four, which is Hitting the Big Time, and episode five of The Unicorn Unleashed. Welcome, everybody. Before we get started here, let me take care of some business and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe someplace down here. Also, if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media, all the links to my pages. What else do I have there? Schedules and stuff that's coming up next. I got a whole bunch of stuff over there. So go take a look over there at suspendedfanimation.com. All right, let's get started, shall we? There is going to be spoilers, of course. If you haven't seen the episodes, go and watch them. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Uh, Usually I have my little spoiler alert sign right over here, but it's a little, even though it looks close, it's actually pretty far away. So um, I'm not going to make a grab for it because that's when shit happens and goes wrong and stuff falls down. And yeah, you know what happens there. So, I'm liking the series, quite honestly. I mean, animation aside, the animation a little jerky for me, but like I said, I like the artwork. I like the production design that they've been doing. I love the writing. The writing on this has just been really, really good. And these three episodes show us that it's what's different about this world. There's just little tweaks. Like we get the Sokovia Accords that happened, of course, in the MCU movies, happen here as well. But little change there where Tony Stark does not enlist a young Peter Parker with spider powers to help him out at the airport. Um, and there's no Spider-Man there, obviously. Instead, Norman Osborn has intercepted Peter Parker, I guess you can say, and that's where we left off, in episode two with Norman telling him he knows he's Spider-Man. So um, Norman really wants to just help him out and says, "Hey, uh, I get what you're doing. I want to help. Let me know what I can do." And Peter starts having a crisis of like, well, do I let him help me? Do I not let him help me? Does that become a conflict of interest? What do I do? And at the same time, he starts realizing that May is having problems making ends meet, that she's starting to sell stuff around the apartment in order to make ends meet, things like that. And Norman's willing to help him. So he's leaning towards help, accepting Norman's help. And he does. Um, and which, of course, leads to hilarious results. You have the suits. My God, the different suits they go through is pretty hilarious, I have to admit. And just um, there are ways of it almost reminded me of the Venture Brothers in a way, quite honestly, when they started doing the different suits that they were making up for Peter, and just really made me laugh. Quite honestly, it was they did a good job of that, especially the one with the cape where he gets tied up in the cape, and then the bullies that he saved Harry Osborn from end up beating the shit out of him while he's tied up in the cape, and that was actually pretty funny. Also, I forgot to mention last episode or last review that Nico, the character there, Nico Monroe. I was trying to remember where I had seen that character from, where that character was from. That is actually a character from Marvel's Runaways. So there was a live action version of Marvel's Runaways done. I want to say now it's been about 6 years ago, somewhere around there, maybe a little bit more than that. And wasn't great. It was better than some of the other stuff that Jeff Loeb had gotten his hands involved in. But Nico Minoru is a magician. Basically, she has an artifact. It's a family heirloom, a family artifact that helps her with casting spells. She can never cast the same spell twice, if I remember correctly, is what that is. So she, of course, is kind of screwed if she tries to do that. That's what that little amulet thing is around her neck that she's wearing. And we see that she's living in a foster home as well, which kind of goes along with the Runaways theme there. And I'm kind of glad they're bringing these characters in. Um, it's actually they're doing a really good job of bringing like Amadeus Cho, who eventually is a Spider-Man, excuse me, a Hulk character. He becomes a Hulk, I guess you could say, in the comics. So we don't know where he's going to go with this. And these are all different kinds of walks of flavors of Marvel characters that they are kind of skewing here in this. They're trying to show that this universe is different, and it's one of the universes in the multiverse. It's not on the sacred timeline if you were following the Loki series, and I'm okay with that. Quite honestly, I like this. I'm a fan of the multiverse. I really am. So some people aren't. I understand that. I am. I'm one of the fans of the multiverse. I like the What Ifs comics that came out in the 70s, 80s, 90s, um, and showed like different universes, what was going to go on. I like the What If series, even though they kind of started focusing on, Captain Britain or Captain Carter, which honestly, I like the character Captain Carter. I just don't agree that they should have just done the entire series. I wanted different episodes of characters and not necessarily having them all tied together. They really didn't need to, but I understood what they were doing with that. I am looking forward to Marvel Zombies. It's coming out later on this year. So the animated series, that's going to be, you know, Marvel Zombies, the comic was, I'm going off on a little tangent here, obviously, was a weird beast of a comic. And Robert Kirkman, Walking Dead fame, was the one who helped birth that. And the one thing I really loved about Marvel Zombies was they ended up tying in Ash from Evil Dead as the person who started the whole Marvel zombie apocalypse thing with the Necronomicon by accident, of course. And it all gets tied into in the comics. I thought that was actually pretty hilarious. They did a good job of that one too. Um, so I am looking forward to that. I know they're not going to tie Ash into all of that, but still, I hopefully they actually make the zombies talk, which is even more frightening, quite honestly, in the comics than it was in the animated series, since they were all just mindless zombies in the animated series. Anyway, I digress. Going back to Spider-Man, there, um, Norman, end up having Harry, of course, be the guy in the seat, or which is, of course, what we got from the MCU. And instead, of course, they call it the guy at the desk, the guy sitting at the desk. And Harry, of course, smart in his own right as well, which is good. I'm liking this version of Harry a lot better, because normally Harry Osborn, either he's played as smart, like uber smart, or really dumb. And this is kind of middle of the road. He is smart, but not as smart as his dad, maybe. Maybe not as smart as Peter, but still smart in his own right. And I'm liking this. And he's also kind of savvy about what's going on in the world there, even though he's only 16, 17, somewhere around there, just a little bit older than Peter, and helping him out. Um, we also get introduced to like a kind of a proto wrecking crew, I guess you could say, in a different way, but they're all Russians. Also, the Rhino. Uh, we do get the guy who eventually becomes the Rhino, but he isn't the Rhino as of yet. Instead, his counterpart in the wrecking crew ends up donning a helmet that she gets from Otto Octavius. Otto Octavius, we find out, is the one who's doling out all this instruments to criminals that are making criminals super powered at this point. And he, of course, is not. He doesn't have the arms as of yet. but he's amassing the money so that he can do his own research, I guess you could say at this point. And I really do like where they're going with this. I like this series. Like I said, I like the artwork, I like the production. The writing is good as well. Peter is very quippy, um, especially as Spider-Man. He's got some nice patter going on as well, and the storylines are even the non superpowered storylines. When we're going behind the scenes, are fleshing together and they're weaving together well. So this is actually a well-written story, and those of you who have been with me for a long, long time know I like a well-written story, and it needs to be well written or it falls apart. Quite honestly, you could have you can pour as much money as you want into it, but as long as you don't have if you don't have the writing there and you don't have the acting there as well, it falls apart. And you have all of this here. This actually works. I can see why they've already greenlit it for seasons 2 and 3. Yeah, it flows well. Fuck the other naysayers out there on YouTube land that, are saying it's, whatever acronym they want to use to describe that it doesn't work for them or that they're racist or whatever like that. Fuck them. This actually works. This is actually a good series. Go and watch it. Make up your own mind for God's sake. Um, yeah. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm looking forward to the next. I'm thinking. I guess they're going to drop 3 episodes a week, is what they're doing now at this point, which is kind of disappointing. I was kind of hoping they're going to do 1 episode a week, but what do you want? I know Invincible just dropped their first 3 episodes today as well. I'm going to be covering that tomorrow. And then they're going to go 1 episode a week, which I'm glad because they're 1 hour long episodes. And yeah, those things are brutal in and of themselves. So quite visually and also story wise. So definitely go and take a look at this if you haven't looked at this series yet. It's good. Uh, it's not a really a different take on Spider-Man, but it is a refreshing take on Spider-Man, I guess you can say. And now we have oh, and also the other thing I have to say, I remembered when I was watching this, Ben Parker had already been dead at this point before Peter even got his powers. We don't know how Ben Parker died, but I have a suspicion that he died during the invasion of New York when when the Avengers held back Thanos's crew there. Yeah, and I'm have a suspicion that Ben died during the invasion of New York, and most likely probably saving Peter or May or something like that, or saving someone, because that's what he does. So yeah, we're gonna get that, and I have a feeling it's gonna be a brutal episode when they do show that one. So, yeah, be prepared for that one. I have a feeling that's where we're going with that. And like I said, it's a testament to the writing. The writing looks like it's gonna be pretty good. All right. So, what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Like I said, I'm just gonna be doing Invincible tomorrow. I know Harley Quinn is out there as well, season 5. I'm probably just going to do a wrap up of Harley Quinn at the end of the season, even though it's batshit crazy as usual, and it's good. It's good in its own right as well. If you haven't watched the animated Harley Quinn series, go and watch it. It's a lot of fun. Alan Tudyk, dude, the guy is doing so much voice work now. It's ridiculous, and there's a reason for that. He's actually really really good. So, with that said, thank you to the 2 viewers I have here. I can see them in the chat. And thank you to you guys out there, right there, that are watching the video here. Thank you, everyone. Let me wrap it up with a little bit of plug. If you like what you see here, like, share, subscribe, someplace around here. Also, if you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at one of the videos that pops up here or over here. Usually it pops up a video that says what's best for you. It kind of goes by all the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to pick a video out of my vast video library. I have like over 1,000 videos here, so something's there that might spark you. And if you like what you see there, subscribe please. um Thank you, everyone. And oh, also go over to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. And also I have all the links to my social media there as well. Thank you, everyone. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you might run into that Parker luck, which, yeah, that shit's bad, quite honestly. Thanks, everyone. I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night, and stay safe out there, and have fun watching stuff. Thanks. See you tomorrow. Bye.